Hey folks, Tristan from Noisegate here. We're joined by our special guest, Drew from Avid. Drew, welcome.
Thank you.
Cool. What have we got here?
Oh, we've got the new 8-fader control surface. It's the Avid S1.
Nice. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Okay, Drew, we've got the Avid S1 here. So how does this guy fit into the rest of the Avid control surface family?
Yeah, so we've obviously got a couple of larger control surfaces. We've got S6, S4, S3.
Yep.
So we wanted to have a control surface that was affordable and would be great for small studios or people that just want to start out with some kind of tactile controller.
Sure. A bit more affordable, a bit smaller than the other guys?
Exactly, yeah. Look, the form factor, it sits right next to my laptop. Like, I don't need a lot of space.
Cool. Okay, we've currently got it with an iPad docked into it, talking to Pro Tools. Can you tell us a bit about what's going on here, how it's all working?
So this is a free application called Avid Control. It works with iPad or Android devices. While it's working with the S1, obviously we've got a lot of visual feedback, but we could just use it standalone, and I've actually got all of my faders, and I've got all of my tracks, and I can actually go in here and solo things if I want to. And I've also got a whole heap of user-definable soft keys, so I can quickly change my mix and edit window, go to all of my automation modes. Pretty much anything that's been EUCOnized in the Pro Tools software will appear here as a soft key. And I also have a user layout, so I can actually put in user-definable shortcuts that I use every day and have them right in front of me, so I can have that while I'm working.
Nice. Yeah. You mentioned EUCOnized before.
Yes.
That's a strange choice of words.
It is, isn't it? So it's referring to the Yukon software. So it's an Ethernet-based protocol that works with all of our control surfaces and any DAW that supports Yukon. So as you can see, I've got Pro Tools running here, but I also have Logic running in the background. And as you can see, Yukon is application aware, and it's now changed the surface to be running Logic. And then I can just flick back to Pro Tools, and the surface is now using Pro Tools.
Nice, just jumps to whatever's in focus on your computer.
Exactly right, yeah.
So this is really interesting. So the iPad isn't talking to the controller at all. They're both just talking independently to the computer.
Correct, yeah. So I've actually got the S1 connected via Ethernet to the laptop, and this is just over Wi-Fi.
Cool, okay, they're both just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So you don't need the controller, you could just be using the iPad with the app.
Absolutely. If you've got a tablet, like, it's a free app, like, get it. Yeah, just get it, like, yeah.
It's iPad or Android, you say?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we've just released it for Android as well. Amazon Fire, any of those, tablets that are out there, you can, get out, go get one.
Cool. And that's purely a Yukon thing?
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're using Cubase, Logic, Nuendo, Pro Tools, any of those DAWs, even video editing softwares like Final Cut and Media Composer, this app works with those as well.
Yep. Cool. A lot of visual feedback it's giving us here. I like the multicolor approach to the buttons here.
Absolutely, yeah. As you can see, as we're banking around, all of these colors change to match the color coding in my Pro Tools session, which is great.
And we're getting a lot of visual feedback from some, looks like plugins here as well?
Yep, that's right. So you can see all of my EQs on the iPad app, and if I actually tap these, it goes to my dynamics and also goes to my pan as well. So again, it's all about bringing more visual feedback to you on the surface opposed to having to have a look at your Pro Tools session or your laptop all the time.
Nice.
So, I guess some of the, the features of the hardware, obviously 8 faders and 8 encoders.
Yeah.
Up top here, we actually have a few buttons that can change what the encoders are doing. So at the moment, we're set on pan. So I'm actually controlling the pan for this, instrument here. But if I hit the EQ tab, it now shows me all the EQ parameters for that selected channel. It also brings up the plugin here as well. Gotcha. Cool. So if you do want to just get a little bit more visual feedback there. So now I can actually control the gain of that parameter there, or I can actually move it around. We also have a flip function as well, which I'm a big fan of, because I can actually now bring the parameters down to the surface here and actually control those parameters via the fader. Nice. So when you're being creative, you're kind of mixing away, you might be using like a virtual instrument or maybe a delay. You could actually be controlling all the parameters of that plugin from the surface and kind of find a really cool sound that you might not have found if you were just kind of keyboarding around.
Sure, totally. Does that work with third-party plugins as well, or just the first-party Avid plugins?
It works with third-party as well. So yeah, if we actually navigate back to my my drums here, on my kick drum here, I'm using FabFilter.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this plugin, so yeah, that's kind of a go-to. So yeah, now it's working there, and if I've got all the parameters for that right here, so if I want to quickly change things, I can, and I get the visual feedback as well on the iPad.
Cool, Drew. So what are some of the benefits to using the Yukon protocol?
Oh, obviously, you know, being an Ethernet-based protocol, we can get, you know, very, you know, high-resolution faders to do very accurate kind of automation.
Yep.
Lots of visual feedback as far as all of the metering and gain reduction all coming up on the iPad app there. But I can also do a lot of user-definable stuff. So you can see I've got all these soft keys down here, and I can put commands that I use all the time on these soft keys here. For example, I've just created a bit of a transport control on user 3 so I can play and stop. And if we navigate over to my master fader, I've actually created a bit of a dim.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which is handy if you're, you know, you actually don't have a monitor solution in your studio and you just want to make a dim, you can kind of create that very easily,
It's a custom attenuation you set up there.
Absolutely, and like these could be macros as well. So if there's a shortcut that you're doing day in, day out, like you could just program that shortcut to be there. Like I just created a couple of stereo tracks.
Oh, that did them all in one button.
Yeah, if I just press that, it just creates 4 stereo tracks.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've also got user-definable fader layouts as well. So this is my whole mix that I've got on this layout here.
Yeah.
But if I go up to the iPad app here and press layouts, I've got a layout for all of my drums, or I could have a layout for all of my bass and guitars, and then quickly get back to my mix. So it's all about getting to those things quickly without having to kind of scroll around with a tab, you know, with a trackpad to find what you're looking for.
Sure.
I can quickly just go, there's all of my keyboards, and I can quickly make an adjustment to those.
Cool.
And then go back to my full mix.
Oh, so you've set these layouts up ahead of time?
I have, yes.
Then you can just jump straight to them, streamline your workflow.
Exactly, yeah. While I'm mixing, I want to be able to get to those things quickly,
cool.
yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, cool. There we go, we've got some drums, and cool. So we've got the, you know, kick drum there, and we can bring up the EQ for the kick drum and make some adjustments to that if I want to. You know, get a bit more tick into that. I've also got my aux there, so I can actually add a bit of reverb if I need to. Probably not to a kick drum, but let's go to wherever my snare is. Okay, so there's my snare track. Select that, go to the aux. I can actually turn up the reverb to all those. Flip down actually, and I can crank that right up.
Nice.
And flip out. So really fast way of kind of, you know, getting to those parameters. There's the you know, Pro compressor from FabFilter. Quickly get in there and, you know, change the ratio of that. Again, flip it down, and then I've actually got the attack here and the ratio here, threshold here. Really quick.
Flip in, flip out.
Flip in and flip out, exactly right. And you can instantiate plugins from this as well. So if I go to, let's just get out of that view. So for example, this snare here, if I go into channel mode, it shows me all of the inserts here. So you can see I've already got 2 plugins there. If I hit that one, I can add a plugin, and maybe let's add, you know, another EQ. And all of my EQs that are in my session all appear here now. So I obviously can bank through and find an EQ that I want. Like a pull tech might work on that. So that's now been added. So if I go to EQs, you can see that the pull tech now appears.
Nice.
So I didn't have to use the mouse to get to that.
Even to select a specific plugin?
Yep.
Very cool.
Instantiating plugins, instantiating sends, all of that can all be done from the surface.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. Click the payback on that one, and then we can go over to Logic, hit go. I've actually muted my laptop. There you go, but we've got all the metering on Logic here. And if I, again, same rules apply, you know. If I've got a pan, all of my pan comes up here. Visual feedback of that pan as well. Which is even cool, I've got a channel control as well, and I can actually do that all here.
Just for one channel?
Yeah, just for that one selected channel. So if there's an EQ on it, I can hit the EQ. Up comes the EQ, and then all the parameters for that EQ are there as well. Yeah, sends, pan, so that all can be done from the iPad, which is very cool.
I wonder if this is ever a preferable visual interface to the actual plugin.
It's starting to get that way.
It's pretty good.
You know, like if I was just mixing, I don't see a reason why I need to be doing over here. Like editing and stuff, okay, it makes sense. But if I was just mixing, I don't see why I would have to be, looking over
here.
here.
Pull the iPad off, sit on the couch for a while, and
totally, yeah. Nice. You know, I could just chill back like this, like you know.
pristine monitoring position there on the couch.
Yeah, so I can go to the mixer view and just be chilling there, and then, you know,
Pretty
mix
cool.
like that. And yeah, go into all your different automation modes, so I can actually, you know, start recording automation now.
But this iPad interface is the same no matter what DAW you're using. It doesn't change.
It doesn't change. No. So the look of the app is pretty much the same.
Yep.
Between all of them. You know, you've got a faders view, you've got a tracks view, which shows me these little tiles, which is very similar to the S6. What's actually very cool as well, if I flip it, I get a you know, more of a portrait view as well, which is cool. So I can see if I want to solo a few things, I can actually just solo those or hit mute, and I can actually mute a few things.
Oh, there's a quick way to get to lots of tracks at one time.
Yeah, exactly. I can just scroll up and down and I can see all of the tracks in my session.
Yep.
So yeah, it's very, very cool app. And yeah, that's the same if we actually flick back to Pro Tools. It's the exact same kind of tiles view.
Pretty snappy.
It is very snappy, yeah.
Cool. Thanks very much, Drew.
Thank
it's
you.
available now, is it?
It is, yeah. It's just started shipping, so you can contact your local Avid dealer or Innovative Music Australia
Cool.
to get more info.
Lovely. Well, thanks for watching. See more details in the description below, and we'll see you next time.